Hi there, welcome to a special episode of Around the Emirates with Sarah. I'm here with Mary to talk about breast cancer awareness. Hi, Mary, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. I'm good, thank you. Thanks for inviting me on your podcast.
Thank you for taking the time to be here. I wanted to dedicate an episode just to talk about breast cancer awareness. Obviously, it is October, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't talk about the importance of breast cancer awareness all year round. So please tell me your story.
Okay. Well, I am a very fit, healthy 42-year-old mother of two, living in Dubai, living a busy lifestyle, but no busier than anybody else. Ate healthily, exercise very regularly. And I noticed earlier on in the year, at the middle of May, I noticed a change in my nipple, actually, on my breast. And I decided, I was talking to a girlfriend about it, and she said, why don't you just go and get it checked out? And I said, well, actually, I've got an appointment anyway to go and see my GP about something else. I'll just mention it to her. And this was on, I think, the 29th of May. And from that appointment, the 1st of June, I was told that I had breast cancer.
Oh my God.
So it happened very quickly. And thank goodness I had the friend over, to talk to, and someone that I could confide in to say, actually, this is a bit strange. And yeah, so I then I was told I had breast cancer on the 1st of June. And then my first chemo appointment was a few weeks later. So within those 2 weeks, I had lots of mammograms, I had ultrasounds, I had biopsies, and I met my oncology team. I decided to stay with Mediclinic, so all of my care is now being done at City Hospital in Dubai. That and American Hospital are the only two hospitals in Dubai at the moment that you can have all of your cancer treatment done. So it meant that everyone was in the same building effectively. So I decided to stay there.
Okay, I see. And what happened after that? So obviously there's the initial shock, and I understand that you're a mother of two kids as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. So I separated last year from my husband. So yes, so I have the kids full time. I decided to treat it very pragmatically, if you like, because that's the way that I deal with things. So as soon as I knew that I had breast cancer, but that I was going to be okay, because they knew that it hadn't spread to the rest of my body. It had spread to my lymph glands, which are under your armpits. And I knew I was going to be okay. So from that, I was very much, okay, what treatment do I need? And what do I need to start? And what am I going to need to get through this? So I am now 16 rounds of chemotherapy down. I only have 2 more to go. So I've been having thank you. I've been having weekly chemotherapy since June. Actually, the biggest thing when I was first told that I had breast cancer was my hair. I was really, really upset. I thought I could face anything, but I just didn't want to lose my hair. I had very long, very thick hair. And as much as I'm a busy mum, so often it was just up in a mum bun, it was still my hair. So it did take me a few weeks. And I did try, there's a procedure that you can try called a cold cap, which it freezes the cells. So you wear a hat an hour before your chemotherapy and then an hour after. And it freezes the cells so that the chemotherapy drug that kills the follicles that kills them can't reach it. It does work for some women. It didn't work for me. So but actually by the time I started losing my hair, I found that far more traumatic than the moment that I decided to shave my hair, because and it's not the same for everybody, and hair is such a personal thing. There are some ladies that I've subsequently connected with that shaved their head straight away. They were just happy. There are other ladies that have really fought an amazing battle with the cold cap. The cold cap's very uncomfortable, and they have managed to keep their hair. So I decided to shave my head when my hair got really bad, and actually it was a relief when I did do that. I called my brother up, who lives in Dubai, and I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Nothing." I said, "Right, can you bring your clippers over? And we're going to do a little job." So
Wow.
it was actually, funnily enough, because we are a family of criers, we actually didn't cry, because I was smiling, and I just actually felt really strong that I'd made that decision.
Yeah, you took
So it
control
wasn't
of that.
exactly, yeah. So and again, it's not the same for everybody, and I can only tell my story, but for sure, it felt a relief to do that. So yeah. So I'm having chemotherapy now. I've got 2 more left. So I finished chemo on the 1st of November. And then, because of where my cancer was and where it started, I then have 3 weeks off. And I will then have surgery at the beginning of December to have a mastectomy.
May I ask if it's a single or a double mastectomy?
At the moment, I'm talking with my surgeon. There is only cancer in my right breast.
Okay.
But there is also something that does need to be removed from my left. It isn't cancer, but it is something that could lead to cancer. So and anyone else that you speak to that has survived breast cancer, and the majority of people do survive first stage breast cancer, is that you have to get through once you're through the physical aspect of it, there is the mental load that you start thinking, what if it comes back? And you become, when you're not at the hospital every week, and you're not seeing your doctors, because it becomes a comfort, because you're seeing your nurses and your doctors and your oncology team every week.
Yeah, there's a support system.
Exactly. A medical support system for sure. So yeah, I don't know yet. Definitely 1, maybe 2. But again, when I first found out, I said, that's fine, just get rid of them. I'm fine. The facilities here are great. You can have immediate reconstruction. The most thing for me was being there for my children and being there in their future. And and any mother would say they're just willing to do whatever it takes.
How has that been, kind of navigating with your children through that and explaining to them at such a young age what you're going through?
So very early on, my breast care nurse gave me a book it's actually from the UK. It's published in the UK, but once this is finished, I do want to try and get some more awareness of it here. It's a book that's aimed at children called Mummy's Lump. And it actually it's a children's story about mummy getting breast cancer. Wow. And it's so brilliantly done. The book itself, the mummy in the book has surgery first, and then she has chemotherapy. So it was a little bit of a different way around. But the kids, I think, really appreciated that. My son is 4 and my daughter is 9. And my son was just really bothered about my hair, funnily enough. He said, "Mummy, but I don't want you to lose your hair." And actually, when I did lose it, when they came back and I didn't have my hair, they just see me. They don't see, I'm the same mum. My energy levels, yes, are a lot lower than they usually are. But I think they made a couple of comments and they've been fine. And I'm not saying it hasn't been hard. It's been really hard. But the summer was really hard because we were in Dubai. I'm with the kids, a lot of screen time. But again, you do what you have to survive. And we're part of a community here called Pirate Surf, and so that's something that the kids do 3 times a week. And that community has been the most incredible community that we could have joined. They have arranged meals. So the mums and dads drop meals for me on a weekly basis. So I don't have to think about food shopping. They've done activities with the children. I've got a long list of people ready to babysit or to pick them up from school. So it's been they're my family, basically. They've been my family in Dubai.
That's incredible.
And they've seen me go through this journey with a smile on my face, because I am lucky in so many ways. And as much as I always said at the beginning, I didn't want breast cancer to define me, but actually it always will define me, because it will always be with me. It will always be my experience, and I will never be the same person again. And I say that in a positive way, because I'm so much stronger than I ever thought that I was. And I'm grateful for everyone that's been here for me, but I try and look at the positive in this situation and have fun with it as well, as much as I can.
Well, I've got to say, Mary, I'm very touched by everything you've just told me, and it's an honor to even be talking to you about this. I can already feel the strength coming from you in the words that you speak. I can see how important it is for you to, like you said, like not be defined by it. Like it's a part of your life and it's part of your identity, but it doesn't mean that that's who you are. Like you were a different person before this came along, but that does not mean that it hurts you so much that it's like something that you could never deal with or handle. And I think that what you just said really kind of touched me in particular, when you just said you will do anything to survive, and the fact that you're surviving with a smile on your face is very inspirational. And even just the fact that you talked about your hair, like you don't even think about these things. Like I have like super thick curly hair. I don't think about my hair, but to wake up one day and to take control and be like, I'm going to shave my hair today, and like that's me taking control of my situation. That for me is like, you're a badass. If I can just say that, like you're a fucking badass. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to, and also what they say, when your hair grows back, it grows back very curly. So they call them chemo curls. So you never know. In a year's time, I might be the same as you. I might have the same hair. Who knows?
Join the fun.
Exactly.
So I think we've already. Sorry, go on.
No, go on. It's okay.
I was going to say, I think we've already touched on the challenges question that I was going to ask you, because you've kind of told me about like your kids and how the challenge for you was to, shave your hair off. And now obviously you're going into surgery soon. And obviously I wish you the best of luck in a speedy recovery when that happens.
Thank you.
But is there any kind of something funny that kind of has gotten you through this process at all?
Well, I think trying to have a sense of humor, having a sense of humor, and whether that's with your family or whether that's with the people that you become very close to, so they know what they can say, and they know it's not going to hurt you. I have an example. My brother, who has been is my closest person in the world to me, and he's been amazing. And very early on, he came to all my appointments, and he's really been great. But now he's already saying to me, "Gosh, can you hurry up already with this cancer thing? I mean, you're really dragging it out." And I had lunch at his house yesterday, and I said, we call each other Goose. It's our surname growing up was Gosling, so Gosling, baby Goose. So I said to him yesterday, "Goose, actually, I'm just a bit thirsty. Would you mind getting me a drink of water?" He went to get me a drink of water, and then I said, "Actually, Goose, could you just go and get me?" And he's like, "Enough already. When is this cancer over?" I'm not, because he can't say no to me. So I'm taking full advantage of that.
Well, you have every right to.
Exactly. And another thing that I have tried to do, I'm on Instagram, but I'm not an Instagrammer, if you like. Mm-hmm. But I really enjoy doing videos and watching videos. And so I've tried to bring a bit of fun to some of the chemo sessions that I have. And I've done a few reels to music, to dancing. I've had some of the friends that come with me to chemo. We've done some crazy. I've had the nurses. I've got the nurses jumping. I had Briar, my boss, who was amazing. She came to one of my chemo sessions. I had them jumping. We did a reel. And it's just about, just bringing a smile to people's faces. I had an amazing experience. I wanted to say thank you before my last chemo session. And I thought about having a lovely basket of fruit. And I contacted Barakat just from an email address on their website. And I said, look, I'd really like to thank not just the nurses, but the cleaning staff and the lovely lady that takes my food order every week. And, you know, because they're all part of a team. And Barakat were amazing, and they didn't hesitate within 3 minutes. So they ended up delivering, I think it was 12 or 15 fruit baskets to all of the staff on the oncology ward at City. And it was just, but it, you know, I wanted to say thank you, but also that they've just been so brilliant. And I have a laugh with them. I joke with them. I think I say everyone is different, but that's how I much prefer to deal with it. Even if I'm feeling not well, I'm feeling nauseous, which has been a really big challenge, which I didn't mention, but the nausea has been really, really hard for me. But you know what? These ladies, these nurses, day in, day out, they're treating so many sick people that if I can just bring a little bit of smile to their day, a little bit of fun, then that will do me. That makes me happy.
Wow, it's just a beautiful story to see how people can come together, like in times of, you know, crisis, somebody is sick. It goes above and beyond the job title. It's not just about, okay, I'm going to clean up her room and go out. It's literally being part of a family, which I think is it is one of the beautiful things about living in this country. It's one of the beautiful reasons why I started this podcast.
Gosh. Absolutely. And it's everybody, and people that I've connected with on through Breast Friends, which is a charity in Dubai, and the Al Jalila Foundation. There are some ladies that I've connected with. We now have each other's numbers. Some of them have the same chemo day as me. And I always say, come and see me, or can I come and see you? You know, I remember when I was on chemo week 1 and 2, and I just didn't know what to expect. I'm now at the other side of that. So I want to now give back to say, look, you know, there's a lady messaging me at the moment and she's really struggling with her hair. Yeah. So I'm trying to help her through that, to say, well, this is how I felt afterwards. And so I will never stop giving back to the community of people that have helped me, but also communities that don't have a voice and that don't, you know, that struggle to get things done and to get help in Dubai. So I definitely see this as, I don't feel it's something that it was meant to be, but the lessons.
Yeah, there's a positive spin on it. Yeah, no, there's a positive spin on it. You found the silver lining. You found the nicest way to deal with something that's usually so terrible. You're like, you know what? I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to make friends through it. I'm going to share my story, because at the end of the day, the one thing is that you're never alone, right? There's always someone who's either with you or someone that can teach you, share their learnings with you, and then you can then in turn share learnings with them. But
exactly.
That's
and it's
incredible.
a domino effect then as well, you know. Exactly, it's a domino effect.
Yeah, I mean, everyone helps everyone, right?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's why Dubai has been my home for 13 years, and I couldn't honestly imagine living anywhere else, because it's the people that I've met and the community, the expat community that so many of us are part of. But not only that, you know, the Emirati community that's, you know, the Emiratis that are here, you know, it blows my mind how many people have helped me. And that's, I guess, I don't know if it's a parting comment, a finishing comment, but one thing that I certainly never did before this was I wasn't never someone that asked for help. I was a strong, independent woman. I'm working, and I didn't need any help necessarily. And one of the best pieces of advice that I got very early on when I was diagnosed with breast cancer was, you need to accept help. You need to ask for help, because nobody can do this on their own. And like I say, I was so lucky to be part of these communities, but there are women that out here that aren't. And so if I can help them in any way, even if it's by connecting them with someone or giving them some advice, or, you know, making a meal for them, you know, it's something that I really, really want to continue. I was so lucky to have people around me, and I just want to be aware that there are others that don't have that. So
that's beautiful. Yeah. So speaking of people that can help, you said there's foundations you can reach out to, right?
So Breast Friends, which is on a Facebook group, it was started by Dr. Herrera, who is an amazing surgeon. And she just brings ladies together, survivors of breast cancer, people going through breast cancer, and that's an amazing support group which is on Facebook. It's very open. Sorry, it's a private group, but nothing will be, no question is too silly, or it's a really good forum. Obviously, for donations, the Al Jalila Foundation is an amazing charity here. And yeah, I just think I think there needs to be, the October month is fantastic. But like you said at the very beginning, it is a discussion that needs to continue for 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
One in two of us will get cancer in our lifetime.
Wow.
And so, and nearly everyone that I've spoken to about breast cancer, they know somebody that's had it. It's whether it's their grandmother, or it's a cousin, or it's a friend of a friend. It touches everybody's lives. The good thing about breast cancer is that there's been so much research that the survival rate is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, we fight and we campaign for more research and more fundraising. And that's what we just have to continue to do here as well.
I completely agree. I mean, the figure that you just said, the 1 in 2 women will die or will have breast cancer, like at some time in their lives.
That's cancer. 1 in 2 will get cancer.
Okay.
But I think it's 1 in 6. 1 in 6 is
breast
breast cancer.
Okay,
yeah.
That's good to know. I have a family friend who I knew for like more than 10 years who died of cancer like 1 or 2 years ago. I think it was breast cancer as well. So it really is much more common than people think. And they don't realize it until it's someone that they know, and that's someone that they can relate to. So I really appreciate you sharing your story, and of course, all the different ways that people can donate or, take action in general, because it's not just about talking about it. It's about doing something to help with it. So
and it's about talking for young girls as well that are in school. I did a talk at my daughter's school in Dubai. The head teacher reached out to me, and it was they asked me to come and talk about my story. And again, it's teaching. It's about having the conversation, not being afraid to have the conversation. So if we can teach young girls how to self-examine and to get used to it, and for it to be part of their weekly, once a week, they're examining themselves. If we can continue this conversation, the rates of breast cancer deaths will I'm sure will lower, because early detection is absolutely key. So yeah, it's about having these conversations and starting it young and being open to these conversations as well.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's really important that that we continue to talk about these things. And I'm going to be posting this episode, of course. I'm on Instagram, Spotify, Buzzsprout, YouTube, like most podcast platforms. So I'm hoping that whoever hears this can convince their female, whether it's your mother, sister, friend, cousin, to continue to check and make sure that you're visiting your GP, make sure that you're getting all the information that you need early on. But otherwise, I really admire you so much, Mary. I respect you so much for sharing your story. And just from the bottom of my heart, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sarah. No, it's been my pleasure. Any chance I get to, again, raise awareness, I'm there.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. And for those of you listening to this, there's an episode out every other week, but I wanted to dedicate a special episode to cancer awareness, specifically for breast cancer awareness, and make sure that you're doing everything that you need to be doing. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.